And Steve Biscotti has to negotiate with Lamar Jackson to keep Lamar Jackson. And he is in a situation where now Lamar Jackson can look at Deshaun Watson's contract and say, hey, I need more than $153 million guaranteed because that's what Rodgers had, which used to be a record. That's great. But now the number's $230. I'm going to nestle in somewhere right in between that. And take it from me, where baseball guaranteed contracts are a thing, when salary escalation happens at the top end, teams get burned. And the more teams get burned, the lower salaries are going to go because front offices are going to find another way. It's exactly what happened in baseball. You've heard the players during collective bargaining say revenue's up in the industry, but salaries are down. Yeah, because we realized that paying players not to perform doesn't make sense. No one actually cares. People want to win. In the NFL, people will learn quickly that if you are getting contracts guaranteed that teams can't get out of, and you end up not being good or being hurt or not being able to help the team win, teams are going to stop with the guarantees. So Steve Biscotti has a choice to make. Does he actually stand firm and say to Lamar, this is an outlier? It's an argument that we would use a lot. Don't talk to me about the blank contract. It's an outlier. There was a specific reason that that player signed that deal with that team at that moment for that amount of money. The agent would then respond, horse hockey. That's not an outlier. That is where the market is for the player, and my player is close to that player, nestles right in under him. So you cannot tell me that that top end number is not relevant because you're just trying to get him at a lower number. And now we're negotiating. But when the parameters of a negotiation change, right? Think about a negotiation. It's sort of simple, right? In a bid-ask situation, which is what a negotiation is. Let's say you're going to buy a car and the car has a retail value of $20,000 and you have a budget of $10,000 and you know that that car is not going to go above retail. You're sort of in the window of $10,000 to $20,000. Then you start negotiating and all of a sudden word gets out that someone bought that exact same car for $30,000. You then have to change the parameters of a negotiation because the seller could now want $30,000 instead of $20,000, and you still have a budget and only want to give $10,000. So instead of a negotiating window of $10,000 to $20,000, it's now $10,000 to $30,000. Advantage seller. That is what happens with salary escalation. That's what happens with contracts. Now, in the car negotiation scenario, all you have to do is say to the dealer, hey, that person, that is not even close. It's not even remarkably close to the kind of car, the area of the car, why the person has the car. It was bought by Quentin Tarantino to be part of a film, and it was a budget that's being paid for by producers with overseas money. That you can't use that. And of course, the person would say, I'll use whatever I want. That car went for $30,000. So it's going to be very interesting. The next contract is what we have to look for. What will Lamar Jackson get? Is the next quarterback contract going to be higher or lower? I'll give you one spoiler alert. It's going to be lower.